Okay. Let's make sure we are live. Connect streaming link. I believe we are live. So hello, good morning, everybody. Wanted to, obviously, I'm trying to do more of the Q&A streams so that if you have questions, you can get them answered on the stream. Also, I just came out with my brand new socks from Selkirk, and people had questions about those in the comments. I wanted to address some of those too. Just some stuff that I didn't go over in the video, which I'm not sure why I didn't, probably because I was too excited about them. So any questions that you have, throw it up on stream. I will try to get to all of them today. I'm going to be down here for a little bit. My wife and kid are at a farmer's market, so I've got the area to myself, so that's pretty excited about that little, because usually when I'm down here, I'm like, all of a sudden there's going to be like, some rattling around somewhere or whatever, but today it's going to be a quiet day in the studio. So any questions you have, you can fire them away and I will be getting to them. I do want to let you know I will be doing 5 giveaways today of the socks. I believe anywhere in the world. I wasn't told otherwise by Selkirk. So yeah, so we'll be doing 5 of these. Remember, we got the quarters, which is the small tab down here, and the crews, the long ones down here too. I think the funniest comments I got, maybe not funny, but just interesting, was people asking me like, why don't you have this very specific color? Colors of things, it's crazy. Like when you're manufacturing, I never realized, because when I did the sandals with, you see them, with Xenon, I was like, oh, let's just do a slippery rock color. Like, why don't we do a gray and green, like for slippery rock? And he's like, well, it'll cost like double the amount because you have to completely change the manufacturing. So it's crazy. So this run is going to be these colors, and then there'll be new ones coming out. But I'm going to do, like I said, 5 giveaways of these socks. And then that'll be kind of throughout the stream. We'll just do a little bit of trivia throughout. And then we'll pick some winners throughout the stream. So thank you to, this isn't sponsored, but thanks to them for getting me a bunch of pairs to give away. All right, let's see what we got here. And like I said, if you have any comments, just throw them in the comment section. I'm going to try to go back up and then just start scrolling down for comments. So this week coming up, I'll just give you some housekeeping while people are joining the stream. This week, the Nike ST Charge will get reviewed on the Dubs channel. That was a pretty crazy couple weeks with those shoes. I actually wore them for a little longer than I wear most. I just kind of wanted to make sure of what I was feeling in them and just making sure like I wasn't saying anything stupid, which so the Nike ST Charge, the Adidas, what is it? The Hyper Boost Euphoria or EPHR is going to get reviewed. And then I'm not sure. I've got a couple other, I think I'm going to do the, on the Dubs channel, I'll probably do the Yola pickleball shoes. I haven't gotten to those yet. They're behind my board. And so I keep forgetting to review them, but I'll get those reviewed as well this week. All right. Let's see what we got. Okay, I already got comments. Okay. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the comments. I believe I'm also live on Instagram and on Facebook. So I will try to get all the comments. Let me see here, because let's see, all comments, all destinations. Okay, for some reason, Instagram does not like comments on here. So I'll switch back and forth. I'll go over to the Instagram feed because I can see it right here. Okay, just want to make sure. All right, but I'm going to stay here for 1 second, then we can go over to the Instagram side. All right. Is anyone hyped for the stream? Yeah, I'm hyped for the stream. Okay. What do I think about the Dawn issue 8? My guess is it's going to be like a New Balance 996 for basketball. It's probably going to be another workhorse type shoe. I've always been fine with the Dawn issues. If it's Light Strike again, I'm just going to whatever. It's weird, like Adidas in other verticals. Like if anybody watched the drop set video where the comment section like devolved into some like people trying to be Reddit funny thread. Like they've got these shoes where like the quality of the drop sets were so good. Like I thought that was like one of the best thought out shoes. Like in like just in this year. Like when I said like it's in any vertical, I mean like not that it's the best shoe for basketball, pickleball, running, volleyball, whatever, that it was the best like quality shoe that I had seen like from any category this year. And then in basketball, I think sometimes they keep going back to the well with Light Strike, and I don't understand why, because basketball has to be one of their most profitable verticals. So I don't get it. Then in the tennis space, they'll put a Light Strike shoe out, and it's really good. Like I don't get it. So I hope. I mean, like I said, all the Dawn issues they're all solid, and they all go on sale, so you'll usually get a good value for it. Not like Dawn and Mitchell. So yeah, I mean, I'll review them. I know they're out right now. I just have to get myself to go buy them and go pick them up, all other stuff. So okay. Why am I not reviewing? I don't know. Do I like not review Puma? Why am I not reviewing Puma anymore? I have no idea. I have so many shoes that I review in a given week, month, year. Sometimes things just slip. I'd probably not review others if, I didn't see ads for them if I didn't see people in the community asking. Like typically I'll go through the comment section if like people really want one thing like that, kind of like, I get like a little noodle up here for it. Like that Volanti 911, people asked for that in every single review, either on the main channel or the Dubs channel. That shoe takes like a month to get to me. So I requested that shoe from Kickzone like 2.5 weeks ago. So it'll get reviewed, but it just takes a while. But so like, that's how I criteria these shoes. And then whenever I review Puma shoes, like they never get like really good views. And then the one time I spent like 200 some bucks on that one, I forget what it was, the one that I slipped on in my old studio. And so I just kind of forgot about them. I think there's like a new Stewie out that, I didn't even think about. So yeah, I mean, I'm not like I'm not reviewing them. It's just, if it's not in my head, it's just, there's just so many other things I got going on, if I'm not being reminded of it, or if the brand's not reaching out and like letting me know what they have, or like, some brands are always sending me stuff. Like when a shoe comes to the house, it's nice because I have or my office, like I got a little stack that I just can look at, and it's like kind of just like reminding me to review them all the time. It's like almost like I'll look at every time I come down here. It's like, oh, I got to do that. So sometimes just out of sight, out of mind. There's really no political or anything reason for that, if that's even the right word. Hey, how's it going? All right. All City 14 Encore. Whenever they come out. Yeah, whenever they come out. You are an awesome human. Thank you. This is like a plant. This is like my mom or something. But thanks, Steve. I appreciate it. Zach, the Ava Edge needs to be in your queue. Ava Rover sequel. Yeah, I mean, I thought I had those in a cart at some point, and then I think I abandoned my cart, so I'm not sure. But yeah. What's my opinion of the biggest difference in basketball shoes today versus the 80s, 90s? So in the 80s and 90s, a lot of them were more flat to the ground. You had much more cup sole, rubber sole, polyurethane. That's probably the biggest one. Basketball shoes nowadays are rapidly approaching trying to become running shoes, which is a good and a bad thing, because running shoe technology is so vastly far and ahead of other verticals, because companies make more money on running, so they spend more money, R&D. Like you look at, let's just say Nike or Adidas, look at their running shoes versus their other verticals. It's like it's a different company. So I think that's the biggest difference. I think also the quality of shoes has gone down a ton. So build quality materials have gone down. Now that's a bunch of factors. I actually just did a video on this. You can watch that video. I think that kind of sums up a lot of my thoughts on that, to be honest. But I think it's that rubbering cup sole, the really flat soles on the ground is the difference. And those could really work your knees, like those super flat to the ground shoes. Now, being flat to the ground isn't a bad thing. You need that for court sports, but the shoe actually does need to then be able to bend. Be able to bend, right? Those shoes like just didn't bend very well. So that'd be the biggest thing. Also, a lot of them were really narrow in the heel and in the midfoot. People think like shoes today are like really narrow. A lot of the shoes back in the 80s were really narrow. In the 90s, that got a little bit different. But anyway, nowadays. Okay. Yeah, I already answered that. Okay. What is up? What is better, the Kai 1 Speed or 2? I mean, just look at the review, whichever one gels you. There is no one best shoe. There's just the best for you. You know, read the reviews, make your own opinion is always going to be the most important, not mine. So I'm a runner and I'm in between the Adidas Hyper Boost Edge and the Asics Mega Blast. Oh yeah, I actually have not had a Mega Blast on recently. Yeah, the midsole, yeah, the ATPU. I'm a 4-foot striker, all the places with no stability needs. Honestly, if it's me, like people always like after that drop set video and the Evo SL, where I dared to say I thought it was better than I expected. Like, how dare I? And then everyone's like, I'm an Adidas shill. Honestly, Hyper Boost Edge, I just feel like you got to try it. Like, it's such a cool shoe. It's so cool. It is such a cool shoe. I would try just because, like, even with the, what was it? The one I just did, the Nova Blast 6, it has the ATPU and the 4-foot. Like, even like when I was really concentrating on 4-foot, like more distal midfoot striking, like it felt cool. Like the ATPU is interesting. The Hyper Boost Edge is just like a different experience. So I think if you're just like, go try something new, like Hyper Boost is a really fun thing to try. So I'd try those and yeah, use my affiliate link. Let's see here. What should I expect from the KD6s if broken in? I mean, I love the KD6. Expect a good shoe. I mean, they're still a little narrow, but that's, I mean, I'm not sure what the context of the question is, but I mean, I like them. I'm interested in Nike ST Charge, but concerned because I have a wide foot. So I want to hear your take on the fit. Oh, you were going to love this video. Oh my God. Yeah, I got real emotional during with the fit of them. So yeah, you'll definitely want to see it. It's kind of a lot to go into right now because there's actually quite a bit about that shoe that is weird. And that's kind of like really different. So yeah, review will be out. I don't know, maybe I'll put it out tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how fast I can get it edited. Like, I still edit all my own videos, which is going to change. So like my videos might look a little bit different in a few months because I need an editor in the worst way, like with our office getting busier and the channel getting busier. Like I have two, like I just finally just committed to the 2-channel model, and it's been really good in terms of like cadence and being able to like not be so stressed out about which shoes get reviewed when, because I have 2 channels now to put them on, 2 kind of different, the audiences aren't exactly the same. But man, editing just is, it takes so much time. Like reviewing the shoes is not bad because I'm either wearing them around all day at work, or I get to go out and play tennis or basketball or something like that, or I get to like run around with my kid. So like, that's not bad, but it's the editing part that's like, just takes so much time. So yeah, anyway, so I don't know how I got onto that. All right. What's my recommendation for shoes for volleyball? They're good for wide footers. Currently wearing the Jaw 3s. Well, I'll tell you what, literally anything else, put it that way. If you're a wide footer, I mean, honestly, like I know they're not like it's not like a sexy shoe, but the P350 is like just a great wide footer shoe. So is the P400. Is that it? P4? Yeah, 400 from New Balance. Like if you're looking for a wide shoe, if not that, the Wade 12. Actually, a lot of volleyballers I've seen are playing in the Wade 12 now, which I can kind of see with the like, more of the springboard, better stability, easier like to kind of get up from 1 or 2 step. So good for digs. Do you have recommendations for a shoe like the G2013 that's current model? The 14s are different. Don't work for me. I'm more of a walker than a runner for what it's worth. Geez, that's a good question. For current models, I don't know. Honestly, I would just, even if the 14s don't work, I'd probably just be going on StockX or GOAT or eBay and just getting the 2000s. I mean, that's a tough one. But I'm gonna have to think about that one. Give me a minute. I'll think about that. It will probably come to me while I'm answering other questions. Have I ever checked out the Nike Lunar Roam or any takes on Lunar Lawn in general? I love Lunar Lawn. Like, I think it's interesting because Nike brought it back. I forget what model it was, but they brought it back like this. Like it was like in 2025 or 2026. I forget what model it was. That's just going to drive me nuts. But they actually brought Lunar Lawn back. Lunar Rovers were cool. I actually had a patient that had them a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I mean, I love Lunar Lawn. It's just that people heard it so much. And then so Nike knows like, hey, we got to put something else in. So now you get Cushionlawn 3.0. What I want to know is what happened to Formula 23? Like, remember that? are we just like assuming that it was just the same as like Nike React? Like, I mean, are we just like, are we just admitting that like it was the exact same foam as others? Remember Formula 23? When that was like, when everyone was talking about that, like it was in like one little pod and like one of the Jordans, and everyone was saying it was going to be like the next greatest thing. And it was like, I was like, okay. But yeah, so put it this way. A lot of these foams are going to feel exactly the same on foot. A lot of them are going to feel like Cushlon to Lunarlon. Cushlon 3.0 is a little different. Injected mold, not compression molded Phylon, but injected molded Phylon. Adidas Bounce, like a lot of them feel very, very. It's hard. I mean, it takes someone who wears a lot of shoes and really pays attention to be able to tell the difference. It's like someone who's like never played tennis before. It's like you give them 3 rackets, like they're not, a difference. Are the 8085 Ultra V2 good for volleyball? Yeah, I don't see why not. Okay. If my problem is always heel pain, which shoe is best? The Tatum 4 or LeBron 23? Neither. I wouldn't use either of those shoes. If it were me, I mean, if it's between the two, it'd be the Tatums because they're just a normal fitting shoe. Whereas the Jordans with the drop in, you can't put an orthotic in them. But I mean, never will I be recommending either of those for heel pain ever. When I do a Nike Vomero Plus, yeah, what's funny is when it came out, I remember this distinctly. It comes out, I'm like, oh, why are they putting a different name on the Vomero 18? Like for some reason, I saw them online. I was like, I didn't register as a different shoe. And then I just forgot about them. And then, all this time goes by and I'm like, well, the 19s are probably going to come out pretty soon. And like, now I'm like, do I even review them or not? But I probably should. So yeah, probably. Will I ever do a Defiant Speed 2 review? I have no idea. That's a good one. Maybe. I'm not sure. How do I feel about Brooks DNA tuned foam compared to other modern options? Remember, DNA tuned. I mean, actually, I have a whole video on this. I have a whole video on Brooks. You should watch it because I kind of go into more of the material science of it. I won't get into it on this stream. But DNA, so like DNA tuned, DNA loft is incredibly consistent foam. I tend to like, super critical EVA. I tend to like more premium EVAs versus some others. I like just standard eTPU. Like if someone said like, what foam would you put in a shoe right now? Like it'd probably just be like old school Adidas Boost, right? Maybe a pod here or there or something, a little bit more edgy or something like that. But so I think it's great. I think it's consistent. Brooks is still the #1 shoe that I recommend in my office by a long shot. It used to be New Balance. And then some of the options that I really liked went off the market. And so like there are some New Balances I still I think the 860 is still the actual #1 shoe I recommend from New Balance in terms of volume. I have to look at my charts. But Brooks overall, in terms of like a company, is what I recommend the most. That's why I did that video on them, because I was like, should I be recommending them as much as I do still? But yeah, spoiler, I still do. So yeah, check that video. It kind of goes into all that. So, all right, let's do a giveaway real quick before I forget. All right, so actually I'm going to go on Instagram and see if there's any. Oh, this is a good question here. Let's pin this. Can I actually pin this comment? I don't know. I'm trying to pin a comment on Instagram. So what are we expecting or hoping from the new Curry line? And this is from Instagram. Sorry, I kind of forgot the Instagram comment. Sorry. I'm hoping it's just basically a Way of Wade 12 shoe that's lighter. Like I think if they do that and maybe without the cast polyurethane, like maybe like a traditional rubber, I think that'd be cool from Curry if they went to like more traditional, because like Way of Wade or Leaning, whatever, whoever it is, the parent company or Way of Wade makes such good like actual rubber, and they've gotten into like the cast polyurethane stuff with a super flat outsoles. And some people like that. It's good for rolling from step to step, and that's great. It picks up dust, and it'd be cool if you had a Wade shoe, like a flagship Wade, like a 12, where it just had like the 12 with like just a standard like herringbone rubber outsole. Like that would be awesome, because it would really then complete the lineup. Maybe a little bit lighter, maybe, you know, a little bit more traditional. So that's what I'm hoping from it. But I will tell you this, but my guess is that whatever it is, it's going to be awesome. You know. All right. And then actually I'm going to do this right here. Pin. I'm going to do one more before I do the giveaway. Sorry. I just want to pin one more Instagram comment because I haven't gone on over there. Can you please do more pronation content? I need good pronation, and if they even make pronation basketball shoes. So you mean like shoes good for overpronation? So remember, this is a good comment because remember, pronation is a normal part of gait. You need pronation. If your foot does not pronate, then you're going to break all the bones in your foot. So remember, you need it. Overpronation, remember that's a combination of shoes and orthotics. I actually have videos on all this on the channel. In terms of like basketball, you just want to look for something with a strong top-loaded shank. And that does not put you into too much eversion, which means the outside of your foot tilts up. So anything like that. But yeah, I mean, I do that in all my videos. Like if you look at the board here, like if it's good for like flat, neutral, high, you know, so maybe I should put there flat, over pronation, high, over supination. Maybe that would be better just to kind of drive home the point. Okay, let me hide this comment. Sorry, took you off screen. Okay, let's do a giveaway for the socks. Okay, so first giveaway is going to be, let's do like a really easy question, or not an easy question, but simple question for me to think of. What was the original name of this channel, the main channel? So put your answers in, and then I'm going to try to scroll all the way back up after I get the answers to answer all the questions. So what was the original name of the Foot Dr. Zach channel? Let me unpin that, and I'll wait. While I'm waiting for comments, let me go back up. New sandpaper. I don't know what that means. Should I get new sandpaper? Do I need a new sandpaper? I'll answer this one. We're waiting for answers to come in. Whichever one's the first correct one, I'll just screenshot, and then we can you can give me your email and number, or an email and name. Number. Any reason why you've changed the format? You talk about foot and leg problems. Used to break down per shoe what they are good and bad for. Now you have ticks, but it misses things like shin splints. If it's bad or good for something specifically, I'll say it. That was the same as in the old videos where I would write it on screen. Like if it was specifically bad for something, if it's specifically bad for something, I'll put it down. I should have a shin splint section on that. So you're right. I'll probably just put that, a shin splint specifically. I probably should have that one. But yeah, it just, if it's specifically good or bad for something, like and it's not on there, I'll just say it. But yeah, shin splints in particular. The reason I change is because that's what people want. They want to hear more of my opinions as a foot doctor, not necessarily as a player. And so I kind of went toward how you can check off boxes and kind of make a better buying decision from that way. But yeah, if it's something that I think I'm like feel really strongly about, I'll put it in. Okay. Yeah, Han, here we go. All right, Han, can you put your name and email in the comments, and then I'll have Selkirk reach out to you. So that's one. I'm going to write this down. All right, one. Okay, we'll do another giveaway in a little bit. Okay. All right, well, let's do some more questions. I gotta like scroll all the way up. Man, lives are hard. Okay. Goodyear, I feel like you want a giveaway at some point. Would you recommend stiffer plated shoes for hypermobile wide flat feet? What foams are good? So good foams for hypermobile flat feet, more premium EVAs, more tough eTPUs, think Boost, think Phylon, think Fresh Foam X, things like that. So stiffer plated. So people, I think, get the terms conflated. To me, a plated shoe means there's like a 4-foot plate. A shoe with a shank means there's a midfoot plate. So midfoot plate, yeah, she wants something stiff in the midfoot. and something that does not allow a lot of eversion so that the foot doesn't go like this. In terms of like a 4-foot leaflet, I've seen so many 4-foot leaflet shoes, like 4-foot plated shoes, that are not good for overpronation. So it's not necessarily the plate, it's where the plate is and how the shoe sits on the ground. And like if there's like look at what was it, the Jaw 3 with like that little, like that mini shank in the middle is super flexible, like it was doing absolutely nothing. Like that shoe has a shank, and yet that's like one of the worst shoes for overpronators out there. So yeah. All right. You only have to ask your questions once, by the way, and I'll get to them. Please don't spam, because it just makes it harder, and I'm going to have to hide you from the stream because I need to, it's just me doing the stream. So, okay. All right. So let's see here. You gave the Way of Wade an awesome score, even better than the Wade 12. Is the Wade 12 still worth the extra money? I mean, it just depends what you want. You know, I mean, which, you know, do you like it more? I mean, I personally, like me, I like the Wade 12 more. It's just that on the scoring scale, you know, I just score the shoes how I see them and get a higher bill. But that's me personally. Other people like the 14, you know, like the All Cities more. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. I mean, it's just whatever gels with you the most. So if you don't want to spend the extra money, don't spend the extra money. Put it that way. Let's see. Plenty of people do great playing in Kohl's, you know, Nike, Giannis Immortalities, you know, so is it worth the extra money if you're not looking to spend that money? Absolutely not. You know, but if you like them, you got some cash to throw around. If you're like one of the 4 people on this planet that has extra cash to throw around these days, go for it. Like I said, I personally like the Wade 12s more. They fit my foot better. I like the way they feel better. So that's just me. But, you know, for you, you know, it's whatever your preference is. Which recommendation? Okay, I already did this one. Your recovery slides only meant to be work or after workout, or would it be okay to wear all day? I've worn them all day. I actually wore mine to Disney. I wore mine around Epcot for an entire day. I wore socks with them because you shouldn't wear any sandal all day. I don't care who makes it and what kind of magic they put in it. But yeah, I actually wore them to Epcot for an entire day, like morning till night. And I was just fine. So mine, they were also broken in at the time too. So remember, my sandals, you have to break them in over a couple days. Then wearing them with a sock at first. Okay, I'm actually going to put you in timeout. All right. Hey, Kate, how's it going? Thank you for all the work. Yeah, I appreciate you, buddy. Do you think Jordan Brand will ever do Pro-Tro retros? At least give us, I don't know. I mean, that would be cool if they did. I don't really know what's going on in Nike. I mean, CEO changed, and, you know, I find it weird with Nike how I was reading a bunch of stories, like, you know, like there's all these, like the downfall of Nike stories, you know, that like that, you know, we're seeing like in newspapers and like magazines and stuff and like industry publications. Whereas like, I feel like they're a little late to the game. Like I remember seeing wear testers doing that stuff like years ago, you know, and now like everyone else is kind of catching up, like, oh yeah, Nike's lost its luster because now they're finally starting to see it in the stock price. But, you know, Nike keeps blaming it on doing more direct to consumer and not like, you know, and not giving as much stock to places like Foot Locker or Dick's or whatever. And I honestly just think it's because they've rested on their laurels. You know, they're relying too much on retros, and the sneaker space is kind of in a recession right now. And so that you really can't now, if the sneaker space was like really red hot, like it was back in like, you know, 2021 or whatever, or 2020 or whatever, I think that they'd probably be doing just fine because that's all people would care about. But now that people are more back to focusing on these companies based on quality of performance shoes, now you're starting to see, you know, so, I mean, that would be a cool idea, but I just wouldn't expect, I wouldn't expect a lot of like, you know, remember, these are huge corporations. And so I've dealt with big corporations before doing projects, and I've dealt with individuals before. And I can tell you that dealing with a corporation and dealing with a room full of people, like, you know, like a boardroom full of people, all having these conflicting and at times stupid ideas about things, it's so hard to get anything through because it becomes an elephant by committee, which is a giraffe. Or I don't know, maybe it's the other way around. Or a giraffe by committee, which is an elephant. And I've dealt with individuals where it's like you can talk to there's like 2 people there or 3 people there around you. You can actually like talk about product and, have like, deeper conversation about stuff. Like I had an opportunity to do my sandals with other people, and I chose to do Xenon because it was one dude that I had to deal with. One person who like I got along with really well, still do. It's a great guy. And so it was like super nice. Like with Selkirk, like I had other interest in this sock when I pitched it to people. And like with Selkirk, like it's me, the president of the company, and their industrial designer. That's it. Just 3 of us. And so it was super nice, like just being able to just like, back and forth from ideas. When a couple of them came back and like they weren't like what I was talking, it was like super easy to fix. And so like with a huge company like Nike, I'm not saying like I worked with Nike or anything. That stuff's, under NDAs anyway. But it's not like, but I did not work with Nike. I can tell you that. But it's weird that like you go and you have this idea that you think like, this is a pretty simple, straightforward idea. And it has to be workshopped for like a month, and then what comes back is like nothing like what you thought. So I think to get Nike to come back and do like cool things like this really good idea, there's going to have to be more of like a focus on individualism, and focus more on small team in there versus like big corporation. I mean, yeah. So anyway, that's my soapbox. In Germany, it's hard to get your recovery sandal or the new socks here for reasonable shipping cost. So the socks, I believe, are going to be available from their European suppliers, from Selkirk's European suppliers pretty soon. So I believe, at least I was told, that should take care of itself soon. I'm not positive, but I believe in European and Asian markets, once the socks actually like start circulating through the warehouses, that should be different. So yeah. Morning, Zach. I'm working law enforcement and I'm on my feet all day and I'm recovering from an ankle fracture and I overpronate. What do you recommend for stability and overpronation? So typically like with law enforcement, you have to be in a non-slip or like all black or all brown or something like that. So I would just say the New Balance 840, because it's the easiest one to get in all those, the easiest one to fit an orthotic in. Is there, the Valentino 11? Yes. I said this earlier in the video. Probably maybe that comment came in before I got it, but yes. Is 6E a thing? I have no idea. I know a 4E is. I'll tell you what, you go on AliExpress or whatever, anyways, anything's possible, let's see here. What is the best all-around sneaker in general? That really has no answer. I mean, I can tell you my favorites. I mean, I personally, like if I'm just wearing something casually, it's the Zagama. So that's my favorite, but everybody's different. Like you talking about retros, you talking about, other things. I kind of want to get the ASICS gel resolution 5s. I know they retroed that one. I got to call and beg them to send me one of those. Okay. Let's see here. Why review the ASICS Sky Elite FF4? Yeah, I think so. Just, it's just like I said, things are crazy. And like, I really, like I said, I need to get help on the channel big time. Cause I'll tell you what, there have been times in the last, I'd say 3 months where I'm like I was like, I don't know how I get through the amount of workload I have in a week. Like there have been times I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm just shutting this thing down. I need help. So I think, once I'm able to hire an editor and get things kind of rolling there. So people always ask me like, why don't you just go and find one? I am such a control freak. Like those of you that know me in real life know that I am type A as all type A gets. Like time management is like my passion. And I just want things done the way I want them. And I've had I've gotten burned so many times with staffing things, hiring things out, doing, farming things out that I want done. And if you just want something done right, you do it yourself. And to be honest, like in terms of like the business world or who I trust with things, the only people I trust on this planet is my wife. Like that's really it. And like I've had some bad experiences with like like doing things with like other companies and stuff. And so like there are very few like people I trust out there to do things. And so I need to fix that. And I need to figure that out because plenty of other YouTubers my size have editors. And the other thing is it's expensive. And this channel takes a lot of money to run, even just to break even. Shoes nowadays are super expensive. Ad rates for these videos are way down. Like if you look at like my, like the cost per mil, like CPMs and RPMs on the videos, like they are way down. Affiliate stuff, it just kind of goes like this, but like people are just, they're not buying as many shoes. And, look at the economy, right? Look at the world economy. Like it's terrible. I know like my wife and my kid, like we used to go out to eat all the time, like that's just like now, like I go to the grocery store and I look at the price of just beef and I'm like, oh my God, like I guess I'm not eating beef anymore, so these just things are expensive. You go to hire an editor, it's super expensive. It's like, you basically have to make 2 more videos a week or like whatever, just to pay for the editor, and that's like the same with our practice. Like, do we hire more people or are we just having to then see more people and cram more people onto our schedule just to pay for more staff? Whereas like we can pull back, be more relaxed in the office, be able to give people more time, it's those things. So, yes, like, all these shoes that people want to see reviewed, I'd love to put out 5 videos a week if I could. There's enough shoes to do it. And just me, my own personal interests are so wide in terms of shoes that I would love to have 5 different shoes that I could do in a given week. Honestly, I probably wouldn't be able to review them adequately enough if I did 5 a week, but it'd be cool to like have like 2 reviews, 2 long-term reviews, like a retrospective every week, a lot, it'd be cool to do that. It's just time, so hopefully, like I said, hopefully I can find a good editor. My financial advisor of all people said he has a good editor for me, which, I know, like weird, but anyway. Okay. In terms of all-day comfort, the ACG Zagama or the Drop Set Pro, that's a great question. I think for all-day comfort, I would say the Zagama. You can fit orthotics in them easier. It's a little more of a standard, dense fit underfoot. Like the way they utilize the foam. Like the Drop Set, I feel like is more like good for like performance, right? Like I'm going to go, like, let's say I'm going to go for a run and I'm just going to do like a quick lift in the basement. And then like, I'm going for a walk later, or like I'm going like take my kid for ice cream somewhere. Like that's like good. Cause like a bunch of different activities. Whereas like the Zagama, that's like a shoe where like when I'm going to work and I'm like, what shoe am I going to wear today? I always pull the Zagama out. Just like for all day use. You can wear the Drop Set all day, and I've worn them all day and they've been great and they're super lightweight and everything. It's just like all the benefits of the Drop Set. It's like all day. It's like, who cares? Like if you're just kind of standing at work and things like that. Now, if you're out doing a bunch of different stuff all day and you're going to be doing like a bunch of different activity, maybe the Drop Set, because it's so light and it provides like the stability of other shoes, but it's so light. So yeah. To me, put it this way: if you want to know what shoe I wear, because like I have 2 pair. I bought 2 pairs of the Drop Set. I bought one after I did the review because I liked it a lot, and then I have another pair of Zagamas. I've been wearing the Zagamas personally more all day. Okay. The Vomero Plus attempts to fix every problem you have with the Vomero 18. Yeah, like I said, I think I probably just need to not care about if it gets any views and just do it because I just need to have it in the library for people. Okay. I have flat foot and I used to have problems with ankles. What's better, the KT10 or the Wade 12? My insole ruined them pretty fast. So, I mean, they're both really good, to be honest. Like, if the insole ruined your KT10s, it might be your foot shape in the KT10 that's pushing the insole. So, I'd probably say the Wade 12. But the KT10s, man, I kind of forgot about the KT10s. So good. Do you think the Sixers with LeBron will win a ring? I don't know. I think they could win one with or without him, to be honest. Man, people are hating on him for going to the Sixers. Like, why do you care? That's the first thing. I think it's a cool team. Like, I'm going to watch them, put it that way. I mean, I'm from Pennsylvania. I never really cared about the Sixers. Like, I was more Cleveland Cavaliers because I went to podiatry school in Cleveland. So like I was actually in Cleveland when LeBron had the decision, and watching what that city devolved into over that was crazy. But so I've always been more of a Cleveland fan. And then I was a Milwaukee fan, mainly because that was where my wife was born, and because I love Giannis so much. Like Giannis is like my all-time favorite player. But now that he's down in Miami, I don't care about Miami. I don't know. I mean, my cousin really likes Miami, but that was because Jimmy Butler was down there. So I think they can. I don't know if it's going to be because of LeBron. I think they could do it with him. I think he'll be fine. But I think it's going to be more, will the rest of the team gel? It's going to be fun to watch, though. I mean, I think it's going to be a really good season. Yeah, put it that way. I think it was cool. I mean, honestly, like, it's been fun seeing how many different winners we've seen in the NBA. Like, watching New York win was really fun. Like, I don't really have a particular affinity for the Knicks, but it was awesome to see them win. It was really cool, especially like after what Wemby started doing, all the nonsense. Like, I was really a big fan of his, especially after the Olympics. Like, I thought he played really hard, and then all the nonsense during the finals with him, like, kind of soured me a little bit. So, especially like after in like the off season, like where he's doing all the, he's like posting all these pictures of himself, getting more mindful and everything. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, that's great. Like, then he ended up playing really well throughout the year. I'm like, man, this is like going to be a cool story. And then like, it just like devolves at the end of the year. And like, he's just being real petulant. So, I mean, put it this way, you can't judge anybody unless you've been in that situation. Like, I've never been in the stress of the NBA finals. I have, trying to get into the NCAA tournaments for Division II tennis, which is absolutely nothing like that. But, unless you're in that situation, you can't judge. But, when you see everybody else kind of acting with a lot more decorum, it was a little bit tough to see. So, but yeah, I was happy for Brunson, especially. All right. What are the best outdoor basketball shoes right now? That's a good question. Honestly, really at this point, like, outdoor basketball shoes, I haven't been seeing like a lot of ones that I love. Like, mainly it's like in the tennis space, I've been seeing shoes that I'd rather have more of. I'd rather see more of. Like I said, the New Balance, like, they've kind of dropped the ball in terms of like the hybrid indoor outdoor. I forget, oh my God, which way of Wade is it? It's going to come to me. It's the one with the X on the side that I really like. Those ones right now are probably the best ones. And I'm like the Shadow 5 or the Shadow 6. I forget whichever the new Shadow is. The Shadows, I think, probably right now are really good. And then the Nike ST Flare. Yeah, the ST Flare for sure. And the Shadow. I have not tried, Jesse. I have not tried the new 1540, unfortunately. I will attempt, put it that way. All right, let me check in over here on Instagram, and then I'm going to do another giveaway here pretty soon. This is a good question over on Instagram. Let me pin this. Is any danger in wearing plated shoes all the time? Yes, there absolutely is, depending on what you're using them for. So number one, it depends on where the plate is. So is it like I said, is it like an actual like full length plate? So I'm going to assume you say it's like a full length plate that goes into the forefoot, almost like wearing like a carbon fiber full length insert. Well, number one, those can transfer more stress onto your Achilles. Technically, it's less stress, like less peak pressure or less peak stress, but it's for a shorter amount of time, and it does not give the Achilles tendon enough time, or actually the gastrosoleal muscle complex, which are these muscles back here. It doesn't give, sorry. It doesn't give these muscles back here enough time to compensate for that stress versus a regular shoe, which transmits energy a little slower. Whereas the plate bypasses all the joints in the foot. So right when the foot comes down, the joints of your foot should be moving and compensating and things like that. And when they're stiffened by a plate that goes throughout the whole shoe, all that stress gets transmitted right to the Achilles tendon. And then the Achilles doesn't have enough time to lock in and push back, and compensate and absorb all the energy that's coming through. So over time, yes, it can. Now, if the plate is bent, if it's a pre-bent plate, a little better. The plate's a little bit more flexible, then that kind of goes away. Like you kind of get a little bit of the best of both worlds. But like a super stiff, so think of like the leaning JB4, where it's like you put in them and like you can just tell it's like the stiffest thing you ever put on. Now, if you're somebody with like horrible arthritis and need that, then okay, that's a little bit different. You just need to be stretching your Achilles more and things like that. But to me, like I have never used a fully plated shoe all the time, put it that way, or one that doesn't have a pre-bent plate in it. Like I've never done it. I've never recommended them to people except for very specific people, like really, and you probably, if you're watching the stream, one of my patients, you know who you are. Very specific people. I like plates, especially like in running shoes. They're fine because it's more of a cadence type thing. And the ones they're putting in running shoes now have a little bit of flex to them. They're bent, they're under foam, so your foot can still go through a little bit more of a normal cycle. So put it this way, if the plate is underneath the foam, that's a point. If the plate has some break points to it, like it's not just a flat piece of carbon fiber, that's cool. That's a point. If it's more flexible, that's a point. So you want to get as many of those as possible. Stiff, flat, top loaded, no good. That's a great question. Do I recommend Saucony? So I recommend Saucony a lot. It's really dependent. There's like certain types of feet that like Saucony. So yeah, I do recommend Saucony. You can't get them as easily where I'm at, like in terms of like the stores, because like a lot of people, I live in the Midwest. Everyone like wants to go to the store, try on the shoes. And so I have to a lot of times recommend stuff that's available right in my area. That's why that was a cool video I did with like the Foot Locker, like where I just went to like a local Foot Locker, which it's on the main channel. So yeah, I do. It's just, it's people that they don't care buying online. Like you would think why would you care about buying online? But it's funny, like in my office, a lot of people are like, no, I want to go to the store. And so I've like had to go around all these stores in my area, which it's like the chain capital of the world where I live. Like there's just we have malls and stores everywhere. So it's not difficult. So, all right. I used to wear only Adidas for tennis, but I don't like the new Barricades. Me neither. I really liking the Wilson Rush Tour 5 and 4.5. Yeah, I mean, they're fine. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about the Wilson stuff, but yeah, I mean, they're fine if you like them, go for them. I think they're expensive, put it that way. I think there's cheaper stuff out there, or I should say better value stuff out there. But if you like them, I mean, I know the Tennis Warehouse people liked them a lot. So yeah, go for it. Nothing wrong with them. Let's see. I'm transitioning from basketball to tennis. Welcome to the dark side. About the Diadora Blue Shield 2003. I love it already. Pre-order recommendation right now, but I feel much more secure playing tennis in my new Balance. Yeah, it's fine. Go for it. New Balance 2-Way V5 is a great tennis shoe. Yeah, I mean, if they had better rubber on them, like that'd probably be the only tennis shoe I'd wear, to be honest. So yeah, I think they're great. Okay, this is a good question. What is the closest basketball shoe to the LeBron 21? Funny you say it, it's like the Sabrina 4, which is weird. It's like almost like the same weight. But yeah, Sabrina 4. Okay, let's do another giveaway. Let's see here. What is the name? Please don't fall. What is the name of this shoe right here? So this is for a giveaway for another pair of socks. What is the name of this shoe right here? Might actually be on the shoe. All right, so that's the giveaway. I have dropped that play button so many times. I gotta go buy one of those fake ones on eBay to display so I don't crack it anymore. Okay, so what is the name of that shoe right there where the play button is? That will be the next giveaway, and then And then Han, if you can DM me on Instagram with your name and email, then I will be able to. I'll be able to get you the shoes and just take a screenshot of your answer. Okay, let's see. All right, Aaron, you were the first one. Almost. Actually, you guys came at the same time. All right, well, both you guys can get them. I'll give you guys both the. Aaron and Puck, both of you, can you DM me on Instagram your name and email? That would be awesome. Or you can comment it on the comment section of this video, not the chat, but the actual comment section of the video, not the chat, comment section. And I will have Selkirk get a hold of you. So easier if you just do it on Instagram. But you can also do it on the comment section. Also, Han, the first one that got this, the Tennis Pro Doc one, either or. I'll check both of them. I was thinking I could just do it in the comment section here, but I am like way too behind on. I am way too behind on comments. Okay. Do you have any explanation as to why I feel better in my basketball shoes versus tennis shoes? Because tennis shoes usually are more flat of a shoe. Basketball shoes have a little bit more of a constant curve to them. They just bend a little bit easier. Typically, most of them. It depends on what basketball shoe you're wearing. Like if you're like in an Adidas Supersonic 5 tennis shoe, and then you're wearing like a New Balance P350 basketball shoe, well, that's because that's a better shoe. So. All right. Adidas Drop Set Pro is just a great versatile shoe. Ran 6-7 miles comfortably. Oh, nice. We'll do basketball drills, shoot around, plyometrics, lightweight, not heavy standing. Yeah, I mean, like super heavy lifting. Like, why are you not in something like a tier or a Metcon or something like that? So, yeah, that's great. I'm glad to hear that feedback. Let's see here. Oh my God, I'm finally getting to the original question. Any cheaper alternative to the New Balance CG2 for pickleball? So I'm not trying to be obtuse on this or facetious, but why are you in a CG2 for pickleball? Like, it's a way over-engineered shoe for pickleball. Tons of carbon fiber in the forefoot. I mean, it's cool because it's a mid, but I mean, the CG2 to me is like a little much in terms of like not as much flexibility and stuff for pickleball. If you're looking for the like versatility of the so put it this way, like the 996, like if you want to stay in New Balance, just grab the 996. It's a great pickleball shoe. If you're looking for like the same type of like streamline, I know that Selkirk makes the socks. This is not sponsored by Selkirk, but the Court Strike Pro is like a kind of a similar kind of vibe to the CG2 without the carbon fiber plate in the forefoot, a little more flexible. So I think that's a really good option. Nothing to do with this stream, but I do like the Court Strike Pros. And then a cheaper option. Yeah, those are all cheaper than there. And then I'm trying to think like specifically like a mid, like the CG. It's tough. It would tough to find a mid like the CG2 for pickleball. But honestly, like to me, there's a lot of better options for pickleball right now. Like the Babolat Jet Mach 4, I would say is probably a really good option if you want kind of like that snappy type speed feeling of the CG2, but without kind of the trappings of the CG2, and the Jet Mach 4 would be cool too. What is my favorite Nike tennis shoe right now? I'm going to make a video where I rank them on the Dubs channel. So stay tuned. I will answer that. I don't want to give it away. What pickleball paddle and tennis racket am I currently playing and liking? Okay, so right now I'm still in my Yonex, which I like to have the Percept. Mine the 95. I think I'm in the Percept 95, 98. Percept 98. I really have no plans on switching. I did end up going to Solinco strings. They sent me Toraline. Sorry, not Solinco. Toraline sent me like a bunch of strings after I was at a Tennis Warehouse, and I was like, all right, whatever. Like, there's no way these are going to be that great. I love them. They're so good. They feel so good. So like now I've just been set up with like Otoro and the Percept, and I really have like no plans on switching that. I'm a creature of habit, so I mean, I played with that head flex point radical for how many years after it was discontinued. So yeah, in terms of pickleball paddles, honestly, I'm not good enough to even know the difference. Kind of I like something a little more power because like I can get a lot of spin playing pickleball. So typically I'm in the Jack Sock just because I think it's cool that he's a professional tennis player that went to the Pro Pickleball Tour. So I actually play in that Lux right there. I have another one in my bag. And then I forget what other, I have an older Selkirk one from like 3 years ago that it's like kind of dull and dead, but like I still like, I forget the name. I'll look up the name, but typically I'm in the Jack Sock signature just because I think it's a cool story. And I put it this way, I don't think I'm good enough to like have a strong opinion about it. Like I'm good enough, you know what I mean? Like I'm like a tennis player that plays pickleball, like I'm good enough. Just like I know just enough like to be dangerous, but like not enough to be like super good. So, all right. Okay. I had knee dislocations and knee dislocation surgery, low back pain. Any recommendations regarding shoes? Man, I have no idea. I'd have to see an x-ray. I'd have to see like a long leg x-ray of you to see like what shoes would even fit what your leg looks like. So that's a tough one. I would ask a good orthopedic surgeon, or someone that can read long leg x-rays in your area. Let's see here. Will I review the Series Player Only 1.5? Yeah, probably. Like usually I get those either from Kickzone or Series Player Only used to send me shoes, and then they're like, oh yeah, a couple are on the way, and then I never saw them. So, I mean, the other thing is like I've changed studios like 4 times in the last year, so I don't know, maybe they're sitting somewhere. But them's the breaks. Any thoughts on the Hyper Boost Euphoria? Yeah, I have them in the mail. I actually think they're coming today. Maybe. We'll see. Let's see. The recommendation for orthotics for children. They haven't mentioned foot pain, but like prevent future problems. Honestly, that is, you have to get, I mean, I can't give you advice on that over the internet. Someone would actually need to look at their foot. Remember, kids' feet go through a lot of different developmental stages, and you don't want to mess with those developmental stages. That's all I will say about that. But that needs to be, that someone actually needs to look at them. You shouldn't take advice from anybody on the internet for that hasn't seen your kids. Too much going on. Remember, a kid's foot is not just a small adult foot. It's going through so many changes, so many different times. Let's see here. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to stay chronological. If I miss your question, I'm sorry. I'm trying to stay chronological with the list, and I'm flipping back and forth. Just watched your video on move insoles and probably end up getting one. Do you find the heel slippage was an issue when using those in particular the game day? No more than any other. No, that's more the shoe, All right. Which cushioning is the most advanced in basketball? There really isn't one. Most advanced right now has got to be, the PEBAs, right? Or the eTPUs, like the newer eTPUs that are coming out. To me, the one that I'm most excited about is the nylons, which is what CQT Extreme 3. I don't know. If you look at any of the Joker GT ones, so Joker 1 GT, Joker 2 GT, those are nylon foams. But honestly, a premium EVA, premium eTPUs, still really good. We'll see what the ATPUs are going to do in the future if we get it in basketball, but everyone's going to want something different out of a basketball shoe. Some people want to feel more bounce. Some people want more ground contact. Some people want more stability. Some people want more explosiveness. There's just no, so if we want to say advancements, I would say nylon. But what is best, there really isn't one. Yeah. So the stat sheet for the old stuff, yeah, I know, because I've changed my, like, so for the basketball and tennis sheets, I know because I've changed my ratings, or not the ratings, but I've changed the way I measure them twice in the last 4 years, just to become more accurate. Yeah, honestly, I don't know if next year I'm going to continue with the sheets, and if I do, I'm just going to make them free, because it's hard to like keep that going in terms of like the older shoes. I'd like to do it. It's just that some of the shoes are like all cut up in different ways. Like I don't have the, like it'd be hard to measure them. So yeah, I'd like to, but we'll see. Like I said, next year, I would say if I do them at all, it's going to be just a free thing that I can use to advertise my products, put it that way. So, cause like, then I also have like the Court Shoe Finder app, which I've like switched how I've kind of learned from how people have used that. And I've got a lot of user feedback. And so like now I want to make another one, and I'm like, okay, like with what time? So I want to make all that stuff free. So I kind of want to take the basketball and tennis guys that are on the website right now, somehow roll them into the Court Shoe Finder app, and that just be like free. And it's just like a nice way to like, I'll just use it for like affiliate marketing, sales, and like stuff for the socks, the sandals, and another product that's going to be coming down the pipeline pretty soon. And by soon, I mean like 6 months to a year. Okay. Have I talked to Chris at Wear Testers about possibly doing a collab video or a Q&A, maybe part 2? Yeah, that'd be cool. I haven't talked to him about it. I mean, honestly, like I'm pretty sure they're so busy. Like, I mean, my God, Wear Testers is that's an operation. No, honestly, like I don't talk to many YouTubers. It's weird. Like I've talked to them before. Like they're super friendly. Like they're very nice. But no, but yeah, I'd be open to it. It's hard because like when you do things that are like remote, I think they're in California, right? It's you kind of lose a little bit of it. So like if you're in the same area, it'd be cool. But like remote stuff, I've never found to be like as engaging. So yeah, if we find ourselves in the same place, same time, that'd be very cool. Yeah, be down for it. Are there people that come in from far distances from your office? What is the relationship in your online show? Yeah, so I get quite a few that will fly in here or there. It's not as many as you would think, because honestly, most people are just trying to get free advice, by emailing me or stuff, which I can't give medical advice. I can't give personal, private medical advice over the phone or over email or over DMs. Like this is a little different. This is like a public forum. And it's like a public Q&A. So like, this isn't a big deal. But like, I can't give people advice on email or DM. Like people DM me on Instagram all the time. Like I've just kind of stopped looking at any of my DMs unless I know the person, just because like every day I'm flooded with questions. So I get, it's more like local people that know me. So like from like the tri-state area that'll come in. So I do get a lot of athletes that know me from the channel, but it's more people that know me in the area that know like that I'm also a YouTuber. But yeah, I would say it's, I don't know, in a given year, 15, 20 in a year will fly in from somewhere else to come see me. So yeah, like I said, it's been getting more and more as the years have gone on. But I would say my practice now is 90% sports medicine, but it's sports medicine from people like within driving distance. Like a lot of people drive in to see me, put it that way, because they know like, hey, he's local, he's closer, like within a 2-3 hour drive. But I'd say like 90% of my practice right now is all sports medicine. But it's mostly sports medicine and people within about, I'd say like a 3-hour driving distance. People that fly in, like I said, it's a couple times a month, to put it that way. It's funny though, because like in my office, like a lot of people don't know who I am at all. Like it's just like little old ladies come in that like have a corn on their foot or a wart or something that need to, like just like general product. I do like 5 or 6 ingrown toenails a day too. Just people have no clue who I am. Not that I'm that famous, but it's funny, like, for this stuff, people have no idea I do this stuff a lot in the channel. Then, you'll get people in the waiting room that are, been watching the channel for like 5 years. So it's a weird dynamic in the office, put it that way. Yeah, it's fun. Okay. Can a midsole foam that is too soft cause plantar fasciitis to flare? Yes, absolutely. Let's see. I have a wide foot. I get a lot of calluses. What Nike shoe? Yeah, I mean, Nike basketball does not make wide shoes, so I think you got to look somewhere else. Put it that way. I think you answered your own question there. Puck, thank you very much. I'm pretty sure I'm reading your question from earlier, but make sure you DM me because you won. Do I think the Luca 4 is a decent performer? Yeah, watch my video on him. I love him. I mean, I don't love him, but they're fine. The Wade Shadow 6. We were talking about that earlier with the outdoor basketball shoes. Yeah, the Shadow 6 is good. All right, let's check Instagram right here. Which shoes do you recommend to stop the progression of a mild bunion? Okay, this is a great question. I'm going to pin this. I don't know if the YouTubers can see the Instagram comments, but the comment is, what shoes do you recommend to stop the progression of a mild bunion for everyday shoes or tennis? There is no shoe that'll prevent a bunion. Bunions are hereditary. Okay. No shoe will do it. There are shoes that can push a bunion along, like if you wear a super pointy shoe all the time. But, people talk about basketball shoes or tennis shoes nowadays being coffins for your feet. It's like you're in them for an hour or two, then you're out of them. Like, I don't know any coffins that you go into that all of a sudden you like rise from the dead again. So it's like, that's not a thing. So no shoe's gonna prevent a bunion. I don't care what Trust Me Bro is saying on whatever lifestyle podcast or whatever. No shoe is gonna fix a bunion. Bunions are structural abnormalities of the foot. They are hereditary. It's clear. The research is so clear on that. It is so, just down the middle. Actually, I have a whole video on this. It's the bizarre truth about tight shoes and bunions. It's a really deep dive into this. Go watch it. It shows the evidence. Like the evidence is so clear. The shoe cannot cure a bunion. Like I said, a shoe can, accelerate bunion growth, but obviously the wider in the toe box, the better. It's going to give more room. But yeah, unfortunately, none of them are going to prevent one. That's a common misconception because you just see it all the time in all the the Trust Me Bro stuff. And it's funny because I've come up with these videos where I say okay, when I change my mind about more anatomic toe box shoes, people are like, you're such an idiot because I knew this forever. No, you didn't. You assumed it. I do not make assumptions on things that I say on this channel. I look at research. When new research comes out and it can be proven to me, then I change my mind. I don't just go on vibes on things. That's what kind of makes me angry. I see these comments, where it's like, well, welcome to the right side of history or something like this, nonsense. It's very easy to make comments on a stranger's YouTube video about stuff like that. I'm such an idiot, but when you've actually done no real research on it, and it's yes, I change my mind when sufficient evidence comes out and things like that. So, maybe one day there'll be a shoe that prevents a bunion or that we can, and then I'll change my mind on it. But until that, no, sorry, that was my little therapy session right there. All right. Let's see here. Doc, sometimes I try to use Court Shoe Finder, but when I select things, it shows a list of some shoes, but there are a lot within the same rating, so I understand which one is the best one. It has a rating on it. It has a number on it. There's a rating underneath the shoe. It's in smaller font. But if all the shoes are the same rating, that means they all came up with the same thing. Like I said, I'm trying to retool Court Shoe Finder so it's more specific. That app took me 2 months to build. So it's probably going to take me a while to fix it. That was the Court Shoe Finder was more of a proof of concept to see how people used it. But honestly, this is good feedback seeing it. So I need that kind of feedback. So yeah, hopefully in the future, get that. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Okay. I finally got down to the second giveaway. All right, so we've given away 3 pairs. Let me write that down. Let me write the number 3 because I'm an idiot. I'll forget. Okay. Is the Wade or is the Harden 10 or the Wade 12 better for an ankle breaker? You mean for like not breaking your ankles? They're both pretty good, but I'd probably go honestly, like they're both pretty good shoes. I think the Wades are a little wider in the areas that you would need it, but they're both fine. I play pickleball 4 to 5 times a week. Does rotating shoes actually make them last longer than they would otherwise? Watch my video that's titled "Shoe Durability Sucks" right now. Because yes, rotating a shoe will allow the foam to kind of rise again longer versus wearing one. So typically in a rotation of shoes, you want to get one shoe and get 2 pairs and then switch between them. So yes, I would say so for sure. Sorry, you drink. Also will allow them to dry better. Put it that way. Oh, sorry. I've been on for this hour has gone by really fast. So just to reset the stream, I am giving away 5 pairs of my new Selkirk Court Lock socks. You want to check these out. It is linked in the description below. These are my first collaboration sock, and it's with Selkirk, and this has been super fun experience. They should be shipping now. A lot of pairs got sold on day 1, so I really appreciate that from the community, at least from the analytics I got from them. So really super appreciate that. But if you want to check them out, link in the description below, the review video, overview of them. I can't really review my own product, but the overview of them is on the channel as well. Okay. Doc, I work as a high-performance tennis coach in the UK, and before I get any issue, I watch reviews. Oh, appreciate you. Any word on the Gel Resolution 11 or the Coco CG3? They are both in production. They will both be out, I believe, in January. The Gel Resolution 11 should be out in January. I think the CG3 will probably be out in, I might be wrong on that. I'm not sure. I talked to the product developers at ASICS when I was at BNP Paribas, the Open. And from what I read from them, they never say anything, they never give you 100%, but from what I gather, it's going to be a lot more like the Gel Resolution 9. I at least from what I read between the lines of what they were saying. And I I was pretty blunt. I was like, listen, this was a little bit of a miss. Are you guys going to take the feedback? Because they came out with the Solution Speed FF4 right after, and that was the best Solution Speed ever. I loved them. They were so good. And I'm like, okay, so you got the Cord FF3. These are awesome. The Solution Speed, even the Gel Challenger 15 was so good. And then you got which should be the flagship. So I was like, you guys have all this great stuff. Just keep the pedigree going. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. My guess is the CG3 is going to be very similar to the 1s and the 2s from what I've heard, which it should be because they're such good shoes. But hopefully they come out in some wider sizes, which would be great. Okay. Shoes like the JB3, not the 4. I gotta think about that again. Been my safest shoe. Wide foot friendly, doesn't cause mid-foot arch pain. I would probably say the Wade 12 or the All City line. That's probably, I'd say All City or Wade 12. Yeah, that's probably it. What is your experience wearing all court tennis shoes on clay versus clay specific? That's a good question because a lot of all courts are just as good. It really depends. If it's really good clay, if the clay is very well maintained, if it's even, not a lot of pock marks, the watering is even, then honestly, a lot of all court shoes are just fine. I was wearing not this new Barricade, but the last one was all court and I had no problem. I wore the old Ubersonic 4s, the all courts on really good clay, and it was fine. Now, clay specific tread is always going to be, on average better. But then there are better clay treads out there, like On's clay tread, much more for like that fine dirt, right? Whereas like if you're clumping up a bunch of hard true, you better be in a Yonex, right? So there are even differences amongst the two, different brands that have clay specific rubber. So what to tell you, if you're playing on clay, I would just get clay soles because it's ideal, but I've had a lot of all court treads that have been just fine. And like when I was in high school and college and stuff, and like I wasn't getting, well, I mean, in college I was getting free shoes, but they were all hard court shoes. Like I was wearing all court shoes on clay all the time. I didn't care, I was fine. So, okay. All right, I should probably do another giveaway. Do I have a single or double hand and backhand? I mean, I hit two hand, but I mean, like I can hit a one hander, like because I taught tennis for so long, like I learned a technically correct one hander. But like if I'm actually playing, I'm hitting a two hander. Okay, let's do another giveaway. We've done 3. So we're going to give away another pair of the Selkirk Court Lock socks. Like I said, comes in the crew and in the quarter. I used to like kind of be a quarter, not hater, but quarter skeptic. And then since actually like buying a bunch of quarter socks to like get the height and everything on these, now I've kind of become a quarter enjoyer because we actually made these a little bit higher than like a real quarter. So like they're like a little bit higher, which is nice. Cause like on a regular quarter, I feel like it hits like a weird spot in your ankle. I don't like it. To me personally, I don't like it. So like now these are a little I mean, they're literally like this much higher than a regular quarter, which I like. All right. So let's do another giveaway. Let's see here. So we did 2 tennis giveaways. Let's do one a little different. Okay. Now I'm trying to think. All right. Let's just do a generic. Okay. So I'm going to go get something real quick. Okay. In the movie that these shoes debuted in, what was the name of the book that Biff stole from Marty? That's the giveaway question. So in this movie, what was the name of the book that Biff stole from Marty? And I'll wait for that to come in. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to go over to Instagram and see what kind of questions are over on the gram. Let's see. What is my favorite hoop shoe right now? I already did the Sabrina 4. So that's on the Dubs channel. It's on. So search Foot Doctor Zach Dubs, DUBBS. That's my second channel. You can check out the review right there. What is my favorite basketball shoe right now? The original Joker 1. No, not original Joker 2, not the Joker 2 GT, the Joker 2, just the regular version, not the GT. That's my favorite one. Personally, like the one I like the best. All right. And the whole name. Yes. Gray's Sports Almanac. All right. Personal no comment. That's a cool name. DM me on Instagram. Screenshot this so I know it's you. DM me. And DM me on Instagram with your name and email address. So I can have Selkirk contact you. Well, I just like had a complete and utter brain fart there. So DM me on Instagram or in the comment section of this video, not the chat, but the comment section of this video. And then I will have them contact you. So that is 4 socks we have given away, and we still got another one to come. Okay. Someone else got it before. Oh no, KTBR. Okay, sorry. Yeah, KR, sorry. Thank you for telling me that. Okay, so both of you guys will get them. So KRTBR90, I'll also screenshot this and then DM me on Instagram with your name and email address, and then I'll give those to you. I'll still do one more giveaway, but I'll give them both to you. Sorry. This is why I should have someone come on here and do the chat because I am lost that one. Okay, thank you, Artie. Actually, Artie, I'll give you a pair too because you were helping me out there. So Artie, screenshot that. Give me a name and email address, and I will send you a pair too. Okay, and then we'll do one more after this one. All right, let's go back up here. Based on your reviews about my son, the Nike Structure Plus, Everyday Shoes, and Wow All City 13s for hoops, both are top tier. Great. I'm glad. Yeah, I love the Structure Plus. Mine are like ruined. I need to get another pair. Actually, I don't think I'm going to get another pair. I think let's get something else. Try something else now. I like them a lot, but it's like, it's time to try something new. Let's see here. Have you ever considered taking a look at work boots, or is it just simple as swapping a power step bridge? No, it's really not. Boots are a little different than some shoes. So like obviously orthotics are going to make any boot better, but a lot of boots have like a lot of arch support built into them. So in a lot of boots, you need to do something more like shock absorption only, like a Remind. So yeah, I mean, there are bad work boots out there. To be honest, like if you want my opinion, like Skechers makes some of the best work boots out there, randomly. But no, you really do have to fit the boot to your foot because there's obviously some differences in different ones. So, all right, let's see here. What is my favorite cushioning technology in basketball? New Balance Fresh Foam X. Let's see. What is the difference between Adidas Jet Boost and Hyper Boost? Because I heard Anthony Edwards series and Hyper Boost. Honestly, like for basketball, I don't. You're not going to notice much. Hyper Boost is a little lighter. Put it that way. I haven't noticed much. Like in like a regular shoe, it's a little bit lighter. Feels a little bit more like tension, like almost more like a trampoline underfoot versus Hyper Boost, which is a little bit more cushioned. I'd rather have. I don't know. I haven't tried them in a basketball shoe, so I don't know. We'll see. Doc, I can't seem to join your membership. That's because I closed it down. There is no membership anymore. I just couldn't. Put it this way: the commitments I was making for it were just too much for how busy I was getting. So I just didn't feel like I didn't want to be like, abandoning people that were like actually paying join membership. So I just took it down. Let's see here. What do you think is the best budget takedown shoe? Giannis Immortality is really good. Those are very good in terms of a budget shoe, especially because you can get them so cheap. The Dawn issues always go on sale. Those are good for that. And then like Dame 11 is like a budget shoe now. Also like the Sabrina 2s and 3s right now are under $100. So I know at Foot Locker, they were like $99 like a month ago before the 4s came out. They're probably cheaper now. So, old colorways that way. Let's see. Why do they say that a rocker in running shoes is bad for feet? It causes equinus, tightens your Achilles tendon, doesn't allow more of a normal gait pattern from heel to forefoot strike or heel to toe off. And let's see, instability, doesn't allow a normal strike, equinus. I mean, if you need one, if you have a fused ankle or an arthritic ankle or a really painful first MTPJ, big toe joint, different. But someone without those issues, you want your foot to act like your foot because it's just going to start sending things up the chain. Yeah, I am not a fan of rockers. Like some are okay if they're meant for certain things. Like some are all right, but for the most part, I'm not a fan. Now remember, there's a difference between a rocker and a bevel, right? There's shoes that have two bevels, one on the forefoot, one on the rear foot. That's not a big deal. But the constant, like the rocker, I've just found over the years, just dealing with them more and more and more, in my opinion, them has kind of come down and down and down and down. That being said, I still recommend a lot of rockers in my office, but they're for very specific people. Really, the only one that I recommend, if any regularity, is the Keen. Was it the Walk 400 or something? Because it's the most stable one. So, Pegasus Premium. Oh, I don't like the Pegasus Premium. Wait. Vimero Premium is the sandwich, is the Oreo Zoom. Pegasus is the full length. I don't like Pegasus Premium. They like gave me hip pain. I mean, like they're cool and they're really good if you need, like if you have bursitis, they're good. But like, I mean, like I'm just not a fan of the Pegasus Premium. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, the Dynafish. Yeah, I just need to get a pair to check out. I haven't checked them out yet, so I should. Let's see. Can I compare the Wave and Force Court, okay, to the K-Swiss Express Lite 3? Have I done the K-Swiss Express Lite 3 or the K-Swiss HyperCourt Express 3? I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'd buy either of those, to be honest. But I don't know if if you're talking about the HyperCourt Express 3, if there's a light version of that, because I haven't tried that if there is. Let's see here. You know, even after watching all these videos of yours, it becomes so complex, I could still not help. That's funny. Can I compare the 361 RPU with Way of Way GCU to see which one has better performance and durability on an outdoor court? That's actually not a bad idea for the second channel, because they both have a lot of claims. Yeah, I should do that. It's actually a good idea. Let's go to Instagram. Let's see what Instagram's talking about. Pin comment. What are the best Croc style sandals for people with flat feet? Crocs. Crocs have a great arch. Like, I love Crocs. For flat feet, I'd say probably if you're looking outside of Crocs, then Cane, like the Cane Revive, because it actually has a heel. But Crocs are really good. Like, I know I shouldn't say that. It's like not the hip thing to say, but I like Crocs a lot. But yeah, Canes are also good too, flat feet. The React X Rejuvenates allow a little bit of wobble. Like the React X is like more better for like someone like me. It has a high arch. It's like super rigid and, gets all the benefits of having no shock absorption through their foot throughout my life. I'll tell you what, I've gotten some bad IT band issues recently and like groin issues, like hip flexor stuff. And I am just like working through it. Like I've been doing shockwave on myself, which has like really helped. Like I do shockwave like every day on myself when I'm at the office. But like it hurts more like when I walk and run. Like if I'm like shooting hoops or playing tennis, doesn't hurt at all. Then I run, it hurts. So I need to be stretching more, I think. But yeah. Okay, let's see here. Doc, since you have an in with Selkirk, you should get the new B&B Selkirk Loco paddle coming out of Better Grit. I'm telling you what, it's not going to help me. Maybe I will. I mean, I'll ask him for one. But put it this way. If I'm getting new paddle technology and everything, it is simply for looks. That is it. It's not going to help anything I'm doing. But honestly, it's funny. Like I get the question like, like Zach, you're a tennis player. Like, why are you like, I love pickleball. I think it's fun. The only thing I don't like about pickleball is that it's brought more people to the tennis courts, and the tennis courts with walls specifically, because it's like really easy to like practice like you're doing stuff on a wall. And so whereas I used to just be able to go to any wall anywhere, and like I love playing against the wall. Like if you watch my videos, like I started hitting against the wall when I was in high school. We had this big one where I grew up, this place called South Park. And but it was a big park in the South Hills of Pittsburgh. And it had this, I'm talking enormous wooden wall, like enormous. Like you could probably fit 10 people a side on it. And it was warped and the ball would bounce weird all the time. And so it would like be hitting people and you'd be like knocking into other people. Anybody from Pittsburgh, if my dad's in the stream, that old South Park wall. And like, that's how I learned how to play tennis. Like that and like me losing my mind when my dad was trying to teach me. But like, that's kind of like how I like fell in love with tennis, was at the South Park wall. And so I love hitting against walls. I absolutely love it. And nowadays all the walls are taken up. And so like, that's the only thing I don't like about it. But I mean, personally, I love playing. And I like playing pickleball because there's like more people that I can play that are like at my, like in tennis, like if I want to get a good workout, like, I mean, I'm not trying to sound elitist, but like I got to play someone at your level. Whereas in pickleball, like I'm a lot worse at pickleball than I am at tennis. So it's like kind of more fun. Like you're kind of at the same level as more people. So, but I'm thinking about building a tennis wall at my house, like getting like a concrete pad built and then putting a wall back there. I'm not going to pay for someone to do it. I would do it because those are like, it would be too expensive. I mean, those like, it's crazy the quotes I was getting for, like, there's no way I could afford that. But I'm thinking of like maybe doing it myself and then building one just so I can always like have a wall to hit on because I just love doing it. That's why you always see walls in my video. That's why you always see me against the wall, because that's what I like to go do. Let's see here. A Match Made in Space. That was George McFly's book. All right. All right. Is the giveaway US only? No, I don't think so. They didn't say that there was any restriction on areas. So I'm guessing it's fine. Sorry, Selkirk, if it's not. Okay. Any word on a potential review for the Li Ning Gamma 2? Been out for a few months. So if I get Li Ning, it's always from either Li Ning, which takes a while. And actually, I don't think I have any contacts at Li Ning. Like they sent me a bunch of shoes like in like 2023 or 2024, and then like never heard from them again. So I don't know. But yeah, Kick's Own, I guess I would get them from. But they're like really expensive, and I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's really hard for me to get the shoe and it takes forever for me to get the shoe, then it better be something that everybody's requesting, because it's like the time has passed. I guess the one bad thing about being a shoe reviewer is if you don't get a review out within like a certain amount of time, like people kind of move on from it. And that's like kind of the good and the bad, because people are like, well, you should have been in the shoe for at least 3 months to give a proper review. Okay, so 8 people can watch it. It's just not realistic, and then like you're in so many different shoes over a long period of time, you start kind of forgetting what you're feeling in which shoe. So it's better just to use them, break them in, and then get the review out. It also is what protects my back, because when I was trying to do that for a while, I was like, back when like I tried to like listen to like every comment and like tried to please absolutely everybody, I'd be in like 3 different shoes in a given day, and like my lower back's like, oh my God, it's like killing me. So yeah. Let's see. Okay. What do I think about New Balance basketball shifting their names away from the two-way and the BB line? I don't know. I don't like it because I just liked the old stuff. Like I just liked those shoes. If the P350 came out and it was the same thing as that shoe, I wouldn't care. I don't know why they did that, to be honest. And I asked somebody there and they didn't know either. So yeah, no idea. How do I rank the Sabrina line from best to worst? Best would be the 3s, then the 2s, then the 1s, then the 4s. Then the 4s, then the 1s. There you go. What are some insoles I would recommend for basketball? It just depends what you want. Do you want bounce? And then something like Power Step Pinnacle? Do you want like more shock absorption plus bounce and be more like Power Step Bridge? You want all shock absorption? They'd be like a Remind Ready. You want super low profile? I'd be like a Move Game Day. Game Day Pro. I don't really recommend the Game Day as much. Game Day Pro. Yeah, there you go. What do I think is going to be the difference between the Hyperboost Pro and Takedown Lifestyle Model foams? My guess is it's going to be weight, or it's going to be a blend, so it might be a little cheaper to make, or maybe absolutely nothing. Maybe it's all just marketing. We'll find out. We'll see when the box comes. But my guess is it's not going to be much. Because think about it. A year ago, or 2 years ago, 3 years ago, before Hyperboost came out, if the Hyperboost Euphoria's foam came out in a shoe, that would be like the most advanced running shoe foam out there. Right. So it's all relative, All right. Let's keep going here. All right. let's see. Sorry, I'm like hiccuping. I stand for work all day, or I stand and walk all day for work at a retail store. And I bought the Drop Set Pro. I'll try them for the first time Monday. Hopefully they help with foot and calf pain. I hope they do well. If you can't go to a store, but you need to try, how do you search for it? I don't know what that means. Do you have a recommendation for working outdoors with tarsal tunnel? Get the tarsal tunnel treated. It's hard to wear any shoe with tarsal tunnel. That just needs to get treated. There's no shoe that's going to fix that, to be honest. Let's see here. How old am I? I look younger than I used to be. How old do you think I am? Put it this way, I'm rapidly approaching middle age, rapidly. The only reason I look younger now is because the fine people of Turkey gave me this thing right there in that video. It's funny because, like, as you can see, I'm still, like, all my hair is still falling. Like, so what they do is when they transplant, if those of you who don't know, I got offered to go to Turkey to get a free hair transplant by the doctor who was like a fan of the channel. And so obviously I went. I had to see what this was about. So anyway, what they do is they take the hair from the sides, which this hair is immune to the hormone that causes male pattern baldness. And so when they take the plugs out of here and they transplant them in here, these will never go away. I will always have this hairline. I'll die with this hairline. But the hair that was still falling out is still going to fall out. And when they do the hair transplant, they tell you need to keep injecting, like they say, inject PRP, do the rolling, do the pills, the stuff that helps hair growth. And I mean, I'm a doctor, and of course, like, I'm the laziest patient. And I'm like, okay, so I did it for a while. And then I was like, whatever, I don't want to keep doing this. And so I was like, like, my hair looks fine. I stopped. And then as soon as I stopped, that's when I started to see kind of like the thinning again. Now, when I talked to them, they said, you can come back and we'll transplant more and give you the density, give you more density. But the thing is like, I just don't care enough. Like, put it this way. If I wouldn't have gotten it for free, I probably never would have done it. Like, I'm married, have a kid, rapidly approaching middle age. I'm very happily married. And so my wife didn't care. Like, who am I trying to impress? This is a funny story. The night before I was going to go to Turkey, I was actually starting to get pretty nervous. I'm like, okay, so I meet this doctor. Like, he's like, I mean, obviously I looked him up, like, he's board certified and, he's a real person. And I looked there, I did my due diligence, and I'm like, okay, so I'm about to like fly to Turkey here to get hair transplanted for like 4 days, come back. And it's like, I'm starting to get a little nervous. And my wife's like, that's funny. I always liked you bald. And I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, it was like 4 hours. So I was supposed to go on this plane. I'm like up in the middle of the night, like, but I did it. I was happy I did it. It's cool. But that was funny. So yeah, I'm going to have to get, if I'd ever want more density, I'd have to have them go retransplant it. And I'd go back to the same guy. Cause they were like, this place was, I mean, as someone who has done a lot of surgery in their life, seeing their surgical operation there was fascinating. Like, it was, yeah. Like, if you want anything like that done, yeah, that's the best. You can check the video out. I think the title is, I flew something 1,000 miles to get a hair transplant in Turkey. You just type in Foot Dr. Zach hair transplant, it comes up. But I would recommend those guys to anybody. Oh my God, they were amazing. But I doubt I will ever actually go back and get the second part of it, just because, yeah, I mean, it was cool to do it. But yeah. All right. Let's see here. What tennis shoes would you recommend for a slightly wide, hyperflexible flat foot? That's the thing, like, better proprioception and a wide, flexible flat foot. Those are kind of two different things. I'd probably say just the Diadora Blue Show 2003. That's kind of, you can't really get both for those. So like this, the best cushioned light tennis shoe, that's like, it depends. Like, what is your definition of light? There really are no like super light, great cushion tennis shoes now that Adidas has stopped making the Cybersonic. But if you can still get Cybersonic 2s, not the Cybersonic 1, the Cybersonic 2, That would probably be my pick, or the Babolat at Mach 4. Those kind of straddle that line, but not a lot of them straddle that line. What do I think of ASICS tennis shoes for pickleball? Seem a bit heavy, but lots of them on the courts. So the Court FF3 and the solution speeds are great. Yeah. Let's see here. Did someone already ask if the Euphoria? Yeah, it's coming out. Yeah, I mean, like I used to get some Adidas shoes sent, but not anymore. So I have to wait until I just buy them to get them. So yeah. And that was a while ago. It's funny because like when different people come into like different jobs at these companies, like if I'm on their radar, then I'll get the shoes. Then like if they leave and go somewhere else, then I'm not, so it's always random. Like when I actually have to wait for the model to come out versus like if I get a review unit. But yeah. So what is the number one pickleball shoe you recommend for beginners? I mean, just whatever is comfortable. I mean, there's no difference between a beginner shoe and an advanced shoe. It just depends on what you like. You consider difference between paddle and tennis shoes. I have a wide flat foot, need to reduce strain on my knees and Achilles tendon during play. As in padel, as in like on like more of a soft carpet court. I mean, God, there's so many people that are playing paddle on like with running shoes. The thing is, when you're in an encaged area, right? It's not as big of a deal because you can like you have a stop, like you have more proprioception. So like spraining and breaking your ankle is not as much of a concern. Like with paddle tennis with 2Ds, there's a big concern because the court is so gritty. So that shoe kind of needs to be like extra durable. You need to have like thicker rubber, like in the Xenons and stuff like that. Like that's super important. Like with paddle, I mean, honestly, I think whatever tennis shoe is comfortable for you. I've found that like more chunky herringbone does well, but that does well with like everything. So anyway, all right. Doc, are internal lacing systems superior to regular lacing? You mean BOA? To me, they're superior, but funny enough, I've had two BOAs now break on me. I forget what I was doing. It was playing tennis, and I forget how I went, or did I kick or I hit? Like I was like smashing clay off my shoe, and the racket hit the BOA and it popped off. And then the shoe was useless. So I never thought about that before. But like, or let's say you're playing basketball and someone steps on the dial, it can bust, like if it's not put in there as well. So I think in terms of lockdown, I think BOA is better. But it's not an infallible system, put it that way. You always watch my videos when you're eating. That's cool. What are you eating? It's better than watching it on the can, I guess. Let's see. I really like the Hyperboost Edge from a cushion perspective and help I'm guessing plantar fascia, but made my big toe numb. So I'm thinking Euphoria. That is probably the way the shoe is bent in the forefoot. That's probably the shape of the shoe, not necessarily the foam. All right, let's check over on Instagram. Let's see what's going on over here. Let's see. See, with Instagram, I don't like this because my feed on Instagram is only showing me like it's all like this person joined, this person joined, this person joined. And it's like I want to be able to see, and it says, oh, I have it to comments only, and it's not showing. This is a good comment. Pin. What is the closest replacement for the New Balance two-way V5? It's anything in the big 3 line from 361. I know that's a weird answer, but that's how I feel. Okay. I go from basketball shoes to steel toes. What can I do about the extra weight versus lack of, steel toes? I mean, I don't really know what you're going to, I don't know if there's much to do there. Let's see. I'm trying to find, I'm telling you what, Instagram is just terrible for live. Not the people of Instagram, but the actual interface of it is bad. Like I'm trying to follow text threads. Okay. All right. I'll wait for that to come down. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's keep going on. Have I tried Noble? Yeah, I tried one pair once for like a very short amount of time. Not like really enough to give like a concrete opinion on it, but I probably should do more because a lot of people like them. I know this is years too late, but what are your thoughts on the A2DX brace for support with ankle arthritis? I would rather have the A1. Put it that way. I mean, the A2DX doesn't really do much for ankle arthritis. Like, I'd rather have the A1 or like the Filmista and then a compression sock or something like that. I think that might warm the ankle better. But I would say the A1 much more versus the A2DX. Do I also play paddle tennis? Not with any regularity. No. We have some courts around here. We have more paddle tennis courts around here. But if I'm going to go do anything, I'm either going to shoot around with my kid or I'm going to play tennis or pickleball. Because like I have a pickleball net and my street is like, I live in a really flat area. So I can take my pickleball net out into the street and play with my kid. And then I have a basketball hoop. I have a flat driveway. So I have a basketball hoop in my driveway now. And it's a pretty, like, it's not like a super wide driveway, but like the way it's just set, it's like a really nice place to play. So 99.9% of the time, if I'm doing anything recreationally, my kid likes basketball more than anything. So I'm ended up playing basketball with him more. I like want to play tennis and pickleball the most, but like I said, he wants to do that. So that's what usually I'm doing. Paddle, like I have no one to play. I'm sure I could just go somewhere and play, but like I have no one to play with. So if I'm doing anything, actually nowadays, I'll bet you I play more basketball than anything, just because of my kid. So, and it's like, I don't know, driveway basketball, like the most fun, you know. Any of you that have a hoop in your driveway know that. Are you trying out the shoes you picked first because of their recent popularity? Out of curiosity, is from reviewer. I don't know what that means. I have to I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean by that question. What do the Kobe 5 and 6s get out of 40 on the rating system? I don't know. I'd have to look at the rate. I think I have it on there somewhere. I think I have it on my sheet. I have to go look at my sheet. Let's see. How does series player only quick to plus models compare to the explosive 1.0? Honestly, I don't know enough. I'd have to go back and look at them more. I don't want to say BS. That might be a better question for Chris because he works with them a lot closer. I'm not positive. Sorry. What do you think about clay shoes on a pickleball court? They're going to get torn up. You know, now it depends on how much are you playing doubles pickleball and are you lazy? Then it's not going to matter. Are you playing are you really creating a lot of friction? Are you moving a lot? Like you have like pretty good footwork, then they're going to get absolutely worked. So I would rather have a more hard court shoe. Because like I have pretty decent footwork. Like at least I move my feet. You know, so I would tear up a clay tennis shoe. So I would go with regular, but if you're not moving as much, like if you're just kind of stationary, you know, and you're just more like hitting around or whatever, or you're not as mobile. Yeah. What is my 3-point percentage? It's not good. Put it this way. My 3-point percentage in my videos is 100%, but in real life, if you actually watch me make those videos, what is your match day tennis shoe? Top 2, the Nike GP Turbo. I still have a couple pairs. And then let's see, the Nike GP Turbo. And then what else have I been? And the Diadora Blue Shield 2003. I still have GP Turbos that I wear. I'm from Cyprus. Watch reviews. Yeah, as soon as they get here, I'll review it. Fortunately, can't make the mail any faster. I'm sure the answer isn't just, and aren't we getting new stupid tariffs again? So they're going to become even more expensive to get from other countries. Ridiculous. I'm sure the answer isn't just based on shoes, but I've been dealing with jumper's knee. Jumper's knee sucks. I've had that as a tennis player for about 6 months straight. I'm hoping to find something that would help. Here's what helped me. Taping, doing like a, like you can get my taping book. I show you how to do a jumper's knee tape. but taping and then a knee sling around it. Like, my God, do I have this here? It's the EK5. No, hold on. I got something. I will help you. Okay. The JK2, how did I have this sitting around, is really good for that. This is a ZAMS. Go into my knee brace video for ZAMS. There's a link to it. It'll take you right there. So the JK2 and tape under it. That's what I did. And then I did shockwave about 4 times on my patellar tendon. And that worked out really well. I also stayed off of asphalt, cement, and concrete, only went to like hardwood or clay when I was doing anything, and that took care of it. But I had horrible jumper's knee. Horrible. I hate jumper's knee. That is like one of those things, like, it just makes you so unconfident in like everything you're doing. Yeah. Yeah, in terms of shoes, just something with a little more shock absorption. That was like when I really noticed like how much of a difference shock absorption makes in shoes. If you had to choose one foam from every brand, what would you choose? Oh God, that's a loaded question. I'll do the big ones. If it's Nike, it's Cushlon 3.0. If it's Adidas, it's Jet Boost. New Balance, Fresh Foam X, obviously. Puma, All Pro Nitro, like Nitro Squared. Way of Wade, Hyper Boost. Is Hyper Boost? No. Super Boom. Sorry, Super Boom. And 361 would be the nylon one, the CQT Extreme 3, whichever. I think that's the nylon one. Who else? Any other big ones I'm missing? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I'll tell you in the comments if I'm missing any other big ones. What is the proper fit for a basketball shoe? Should it be tight or should your toes be able to move freely? So your toes should be able to move. New research has shown big toe needs that lever arm. So the big toe needs to be able to push down. To me, you want anywhere between a finger and thumb width in the toe box. That's like optimum for allowing the metatarsals to hit the right part of the metatarsal. The thing is, when you measure shoes, there's heel to toe, but then there's also heel to ball. So from the heel to ball of your foot is your actual shoe size. That's why when you go heel to toe on a Brannock device, you got to add a half size, because it's usually like my heel to ball is almost a full size bigger than my heel to toe. So is that I always say a finger to thumb. If you're jamming your toes all the way up into the very distal part of the shoe, you're losing. It's just going to be so tight. I mean, put it that way. Some people like that. And like they'll say like, oh, well, professionals like that, like Rafa Nadal like that. Rafa Nadal is having custom shoes made for him, was having custom shoes made for him. So his feet fit in there like a glove. So if your feet fit like a glove, that's great. But with most shoes nowadays that we're getting, they're either too tapered in the forefoot or they're too tight in the midfoot. I just found that a finger to thumb in the forefoot is it just gives like the best setup for the midfoot, which is where your true length is. Any suggestions on healing insertional Achilles tendonitis? Yeah, that's the worst because you can't do shots, so you can't give cortisone shots. So for me, it's bracing. I mean, honestly, if it's bad enough, just go into a boot for a while. It's ankle bracing, shockwave, and a lot of eccentric stretching or a night splint at night, or both. That's what I do. Honestly, your daughter needs to see a qualified doctor in their area. Ankle pain is, I don't know where it's coming from. The ankle pain is, there's 1,000 things that could be. I wear the 805 Ultra, but I have some heel slippage. Really? On the 805? Man, you must have a narrow heel. What can I do to help alleviate that? There's an option. Get some moleskin and wrap it around the back just to create more push toward, or wear 2 pairs of socks, or like wear like 2 pairs of socks, moleskin around the back, or just get something else. Just might not fit you right. Because if you're getting slippage in the 808s, that's unique. Those usually don't slip. Especially like with drop-ins. Drop-ins are usually pretty good about that. Which other shoe do you recommend for arch sport that isn't the Brooks Adrenaline? Why can't it be the Brooks Adrenaline? I like the Brooks I have since my live stream. I have 2 pairs of the Adrenaline 25, but they are too bulky for casual wear. Okay. Here's the thing with arch support, you're going to get a little more bulk. So the next shoe I would say is the 860 or the Brooks Beast. You could always like start going to old school shoes like the GT, like the old school Brooks Adrenalines, like the GTS 4 has got great arch support, but you're not going to get, because that's much more low profile, but you're not going to get any of the good stuff in the back. So what do you want? That's kind of where I would go with that. The New Balance 1080s are decent. I have to think about that, like a more low profile but good arch support. That just doesn't gel as much. If you only have one choice of basketball shoes, what basketball shoe will you wear in the next 2 years? Well, right now I wear the 2-way V5. Like I still have 2 pairs of them sitting over there. That's what I wear. When I go out and just shoot around, if I'm not testing a shoe out, I'm just kicking around, I'm always in the 2-way V5. So that's what I would wear. And honestly, that's probably what I would be in for years from now, unless New Balance starts making something that's equivalent to that, because I like that setup. I have a pair of Wade 12s that like I like showing to people, so I keep them nice, like at the office, because I recommend the Wade 12 a lot in the office. So I'd wear those too if I not wanting to get them like dirty because I don't want to show you like my dirty shoes. Like, here you go. Okay. I do have a global ranking spreadsheet. So yeah, already there. The trillion years is over. What is the most effective treatment for a plantar wart that has been there for years? The most effective treatment for plantar warts is autoimplantation, which is either you cut the wart. This is going to be disgusting for a lot of people. You cut the wart to the basement membrane, then you implant it into the fat around your calf. Open up a little nick, put it in there. The less gruesome way of doing that is to numb the area up, take an 18 gauge needle, or if it's a very small wart, you're a small person, a 25 gauge needle, and then literally poke it in through the basement membrane of your skin until it becomes soft. And that is basically just pushing it further into your skin. It acts like a vaccine for the virus of the wart, so your body can then recognize the virus and kill it. I have had warts that people have had for decades. 1 round of autoimplantation, done. So it takes 6 weeks to 8 weeks for it to heal like that, and you got to get shots, you got to get numbed up. But to me, my opinion, that is the best way. If you come into my office, I'm always going to, in my office, I still do the scraping and burning because it's painless. But I always give people the option. We can go in here and needle this and it's done in one time. So autoimplantation. Anybody making foot-shaped tennis shoes? No. Put it this way. People are making foot-shaped tennis shoes, but they don't have good lockdown and they're not good. So I wouldn't get them yet. All with other criteria that you have. There are foot-shaped barefoot tennis shoes, right? Like Zero makes them, which are fine, but they're not like the traditional shoe with good lockdown, ton of stack of foam, things like that. So yeah. Okay. All right, here we go. If you can buy one pair of tennis shoes among the 996 V7, the new Mizunos, the Roger Pro 3s, what do you suggest for wider foot type? I don't know. I'd probably get the new Mizunos. But the 996s are, I got a soft spot for the 996. I like the 996. I think the Mizunos are a little more snappy. Roger Pro 3s are good though. I've liked them a lot more than the 1s and the 2s. A lot more. I just think the Mizunos are a little better, in my personal opinion. Check the reviews out on the Dubs channel. We'll see. Remember, I do have a second channel, Foot Doctor Zach Dubs, where I do a bunch of reviews on there still. So that's going on there. Okay. I need to check. I've gotten like a million texts here from, let's see. Let's do a giveaway while I do this. So let's do another one. All right. So we've done movies. We've done tennis. Let's see here. I gotta think of what kind of good giveaway I can do. I gotta look around my house here. Okay, I'm gonna do a hard one on this one. Okay, now let's not do a hard one. Let's do an easy one. Okay, let's honor my wife All right, I can't take this here, but tell me what the mascot is for the school I'm about to point to. Okay, the mascot for the school I'm about to point to. To honor my wife. So, what is the, I gotta move out of the way. What is the mascot for that school? And then we'll do that giveaway. Wow. Okay. Sorry, I gotta send somebody over an antibiotic. All right, there you go. Is that the first time ever someone's like sent an antibiotic over to a pharmacy during a live stream? All right. The name of the mascot. There's a specific mascot. Oh man, no one's getting it. Let me check here. No. You think it's Sun Devils. What? Please what, Dad? Would you want me to do like the Duquesne one? Yeah, this is an easy one. No one's getting it. How's no one getting this one? Come on, Walt Disney designed this guy. All right. Finally. Sick Nick. It's Sparky. Yeah, it's Sparky. Yeah, they are the Sun Devils, but it's the mascot is Sparky. All right. Sparky. All right. Sick Nick, you can send me your name and email address on DM on Instagram, or you can do it in the comment section, not the chat, but the comment section of this video, and I will find it. And then Selkirk will be a hold of you. Lion. All right. So thoughts on the Brooks Adrenaline GTS 10 latest lifestyle? Yeah, I love the GTS 10. So that's just personal. I think they're cool. Like that's from, I had a pair, but I got a lot of personal preference on that one. But yes, I like them a lot. All right. I just got a job where I'll be working 8 hours a day in a factory. So to me, if I'm going to be working in a factory all day, I would be in the Zagamas with an insert, with an orthotic. The widest without going a 2E is the New Balance Coco Del Rey and the Mizuno Neo Ace, I think. All right. So yeah, Sick Nick, no problem. Good job on getting Sparky. Yeah, it's designed by Walt Disney. So interesting. All right. So what's the giveaway? Oh yeah, the giveaway is for another pair of my socks with Selkirk, the Courtlock sock. Yeah, I did get some questions about why we put cotton in it, which I thought was an interesting question. So anytime I've had socks that have had no cotton in them, and I tried a bunch of them, they felt like cheap, not as like comfortable. And remember, these socks are meant for court sports, so not distance running. So distance, a little different where you're wanting the wicking more versus like the padding comfort. With having cotton in there, it's only 20% cotton, and it's only in certain parts of the sock too. Like the bottom has like, that's kind of where we got some of the padding up into here. So like it's also where I probably should have put that in the video, like where the cotton is in the sock. So when we tried a bunch of them, like I wanted comfort, and like you can get socks that are just super thin and wicking, but like I don't know, like they're more of like a running specific sock, like super lightweight. Whereas I wanted these to be like cushion, comfortable, breathable. Like I kind of wanted, you can't please everybody, but I would like to do another one that was like more merino and elastane and stuff like that. I think that would be cool. I mean, I'm getting into like chemistry here, like material science, but I personally like more like natural material type socks, like merino wool and cotton. I don't like them to be all like, I don't like 100% cotton socks. Even though like I really like apothecary socks for like casual socks too. So that's why we did cotton there. More personal preference on my point in the fact that it is a court, like it's for court sports. And like to me, like I wear these all day at work for casual. So that's why. Also, to get the grippers on the bottom like this, to like be able to attach this kind of stuff, you kind of need like cotton fibers just to help hold it better. From what we saw, the other ones, like when you would push into them, like if it was all the synthetic stuff, they would almost like crease under your foot, that kind of stuff. And so to get some of the cool accoutrements in here, you want those type of fibers. Like I said, I'd like to do another one because like I've already have other ideas now for like, now that you did one, like all these other ideas start popping into your head. So I'd like to do another version with some different materials. But like I said, I think I'd want to do a merino based, but we'll see. Okay. In which situation can someone change from a rigid orthotic to a more flexible option? I have a high arch and my current rigid device has a large metatarsal pad. So you could put a metatarsal pad on a flexible orthotic. Check my book out. I show you how to like do them, but like I like a little more flex in an orthotic. A totally rigid one to me is, some people need it, but if I were you, like if I'm going from all rigid, I would go to then semi-rigid. I wouldn't just go to flexible from rigid because then you're not going to notice the support. But you can put a metatarsal pad on anything. Like you can customize a metatarsal pad on anything. So you can check the book out in the description below. Shows you how to do that. The best insole for a flat foot with zero arch. It depends on what you can tolerate. Can you tolerate a higher arch? You know, can you not? So I would check my orthotic finder video, kind of see like what you can tolerate. But like if you need something with no arch, then I'd say like a Remind. If you need something with a higher arch and you want something with a higher arch. Yeah, 200 plus for a tennis shoe when other ones are like $115, $120 is pretty steep. That's pretty steep. Pretty steep. It's pretty steep. My question is, Anta Kai 2 fit for long toes and Greek foot? I think they I'm thinking I might buy an 11. I mean, I honestly don't remember if they're like great. I don't think they're super long. But I don't think they'd be any worse than anything else, put it that way. I just ordered an A1 size XL for left and right. I'll let you know what happens after a couple weeks. The Zamp site is cheaper than Amazon. How about that? That's weird. Usually it's the opposite. That's cool though, because you can use my affiliate code on zamps.com. Let's see here. Is it normal for the ball of my foot to always feel burning? No. Put it that way. No. All your foot should not burn. Put it that way. Carbon fiber plates, like I said, they are not the answer to everything. Like, there can be some issues there. Custom orthotics are too high, causing heel slippage. That's because they were made too high. You can make a custom orthotic with any size arch. So it's because the custom orthotic were made too thick or too high. You can get customs that are lower. If you want a lower arched over the counter, get a Power Step Bridge or a Move Game Day Pro. Okay, I'm going to bring this in for a landing because I'm getting a lot of text messages and I need to see what that is about. So everybody have a great day. Check out the Selkirk Courtlock socks on selkirk.com. You can check my link out for them. And I will see you all probably tomorrow with another video. Make sure to check out both the Foot Dr. Zach channel and Foot Dr. Zach Dubs channel because reviews come out on both of those weekly. So thank you all for hanging out. I'll see you on the next one.